Hectic. Now, when I Hectic 99, sometimes we do need to sit down on our couch of courage and actually discuss some really hard-hitting topics. So that's why we're joined by Antoinette, and she works for Autism Western Cape. Antoinette, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Are you having a great time so far?
I am. I really enjoyed your dance moves.
I know, right? It was...
You could do some practice, though, but... Just kidding, that was great.
This is my studio. Don't touch me on my studio. All right. Antoinette, tell us a little bit about autism. What is it?
So autism is a brain disorder that affects social communication. So individuals might struggle to make friends, struggle to communicate, prefer to be alone, don't always understand when you speak to them. It's not a physical disability, so they don't look any different. It's a lifelong condition, so children become adults with autism, and each person is different with autism.
What is the biggest misconception when it comes to something like autism?
There's a lot of misconceptions, like they don't want to be touched, which is not true, or that they're aggressive or they're naughty, which is not true. Often they use their behavior because they don't have the words to communicate. So wouldn't you be frustrated if you couldn't say how you feel?
Awesome. So now, what I want people to understand here is that people with autism just think differently, right?
That's correct.
And a lot of the time, people don't really understand that it's just a different way of thinking, and that it's not necessarily a bad thing, or you're saying it's a good thing. It's just that they are different.
Yes.
What do you guys want to communicate the most as Autism Western Cape?
So we want awareness and acceptance. So autism shouldn't be seen as something horrible and terrible. It's literally just a different way of thinking. So you should presume competence. So treat them as though they were speaking. Just take it a bit slower. Use shorter sentences with them. And just consider that the environment could be too loud for them, the lights, the noises. It could be too overwhelming. And that's why they seem to prefer to be alone. But nobody wakes up thinking, I want to be alone today.
You know, one thing that when we were discussing this with the production crew, we were talking about, for instance, if I want to make friends with a kid who has autism who prefers to sit alone, would it be better for me to go to them or for me to get them to join my friends?
I think either way it would be quite anxiety-provoking because remember, they don't necessarily know how to make friends. So if you went by yourself and said, hi, my name is, very calmly using clear language, saying, hi, I'm going to come sit next to you, telling him what's happening. Because remember, if you can't speak and you don't always understand what people are saying, wouldn't you be quite anxious?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of anxiety as well.
Now, I believe that there is a spectrum when it comes to autism. Could you explain that to us? First of all, what is a spectrum, and what are the different degrees of autism, and where do they fall on the spectrum?
All right, so with autism, it is a spectrum disorder. So when you think of a spectrum, think of the rainbow. So there's green and yellow and purple and red, and they're all different, but they're all still colors. And the same with autism. Each person will be different. On the one end of the spectrum, you have those who don't make eye contact, maybe they don't speak, they need a lot of help doing daily things. On the other side, you have those who go to mainstream schools, they need very little support, maybe just need social skills to know how to make friends. So you can see it's quite a big range, but they both still have autism because they're struggling with anxiety, understanding when people are speaking to them, being able to express how they, communicate their needs. And of course, they might have some behaviors, flapping or rocking backwards and forwards to comfort themselves.
All right. And so basically what you're trying to say to us is that people who are autistic are not necessarily stupid or not necessarily crazy. It's just that they struggle with communication. And I think that a lot of people out there in communities and in families don't really understand that and get that. So for people who don't really get it and don't really understand it, think that someone with autism needs to be put away in a dark room somewhere, what would you say to them?
Be informed. Contact us, Autism Western Cape. We have a website, www.autismwesterncape.org.za. Of course, taking it slower with them, so don't treat them as though they don't understand. Try and use shorter sentences with them, let them know what's happening, and don't isolate them because they're never going to learn social skills unless you're helping them learn those skills.
Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Antoinette, for coming through. And you know what? I love the fact that you guys are out there saying that we need to be educated and have this awareness that is going on, because people don't really understand what it is, and they don't really know how to actually interact with everybody else. But anyway, thank you very much to you guys and Autism Western Cape.